Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tom and today we're going to be taking a look at the game The Last Starship, which is an early access title from acclaimed indie developer Introversion Software. So today we're going to be heading off to space, the final frontier, and we're going to be exploring it like never before. So The Last Starship is a game that lets you build your own ship, explore the universe while completing unique missions, scenarios and anomalies along the way. Reminds me a little bit of FTL and Cosmoteer, two other titles we're big fans of here. So let's delve in today and see what this one is about. First of all, however, I have to do the mandatory, if you're enjoying our content, make sure to like and subscribe. But genuinely guys, it really helps us with comments and likes on the videos, and of course we always want more people to join our journey with a subscription. So without further ado, let's jump into the game itself and see what this one's about. So let's get the initial details out of the way. What is this game? What is it about? And what does it cost? So starting with the latter, the game is on Steam for €28.99, or your local equivalent, obviously. And I would say that this game is somewhat reminiscent of FTL and rimworld, and probably lands somewhere between the two. So you zip around from point to point, completing missions that earn you money and XP. But the main focus, I would say, currently is on the shipbuilding elements of the game, which are very enjoyable. It is an early access title, so you do have to take what you currently have with a pinch of salt. However, I would say that Introversion Software have a long pedigree of delivering very well on their early access titles, most notably being Prison Architect, where the early incarnation that came out in early access was fleshed out and changed and hit a very high level upon full release. So that's one thing I would note, that when you look at early access titles, what have they done before and have they delivered? And I would say with this developer, they definitely have. So The Last Starship is a game that ultimately lets you build your own ship and explore the universe whilst completing unique missions, scenarios and anomalies along the way. Using an intuitive ship editor, you can design, edit and create your starship. And whether that's selecting from a range of pre-packaged fleets or building from scratch, so you also have access to the Steam workshop here, so you can share and download designs from the community. So if you need a new nacelle to house a third FTL drive, no problem. Need to expand your cargo capacity, a few clicks and this can be locked into your design. The Last Starship combat requires strategic thinking and precision strikes, so you have to take complete control over where to install your weapons when building your ship, so between lasers or railguns, or more armor or more maneuverability, stealth or overwhelming firepower, the choice becomes yours. And this all goes back to how you design your ship and what you design it for. In The Last Starship, your command doesn't stay static, however, it can grow over time, and so will the requirements to keep all of your crew alive. This will mean that you will be expanding your fleet and designing different ships with unique capabilities and different purposes. Space is cold, dark and empty, and in order to survive this, you're gonna need resources, namely water, oxygen and fuel, for constructing your ships and keeping the crew alive and well. So whether using drones to harvest or lasers to drill source materials in order to create a giant mining rig, you're going to need to have a smooth operation in order to gain the quantity of materials you need to survive and to maintain that survival. And so it's not just the physical resources that you need to manage, but as you explore the universe and complete missions, you're going to continuously upgrade all aspects of your ship. But be careful, without the right O2 supply and the CO2 scrubbers and management of your wastewater, your crew are not going to last long. So this is the other element of resource management you're going to have to embark upon. So the Last Starship requires you to manage life support and other ship-wide systems to ensure optimal power. The sector map in the game is the gateway to your procedurally generated universe. So each system has unique missions, scenarios, and anomalies for you to explore. So everything from passenger rescue to cargo delivery. Missions are going to adapt to ensure you're constantly challenged. So it's really up to you to decide which route you want to take through the galaxy. One really cool feature that I enjoyed here is the XP system with the mission types. So as you advance in, for example, humanitarian rescue missions, you're going to level up and unlock more advanced mission forms as you go. So this is a really nice way for you to develop your interesting game of what missions you want to pursue. And then there is also the aspect of community sharing, which is done through the Steam Workshop. So you can share your design with the community, no problem. You can also have access to the unlimited potential of the community's imagination. So whatever designs they've published, you can also access and use. So if you can think of it, you can build it, share it, and someone else can battle with it, or vice versa. So a very cool feature overall. So I've spent some time talking about the good elements and positive aspects of the features within the Last Starship, so it's only fair that I touch base on things that I wasn't a big fan of. And right now I do feel my biggest gripe is that the game feels a little bit empty from the point of view that it feels a bit formulaic where you go through the missions and there's not a huge amount of kind of soul or story to what you're doing, whereas if you compare it to things like FTL, there was a really good thread throughout, and that added a huge amount of replayability. And I bring this up because this game is quite full. It is full priced, I would say, at 28 euros or 29 euros rather. So I do feel that you have to be aware of this before you purchase. As you are buying the future development of the game, you can look at it as maybe an investment. And if that's not your cup of tea, you should wait for the full version to be released. But if you want to be a part of the development and maybe help shape that, then The Last Starship is something for you to look at. But for me, right now, the story is a little Spartan, a little sparse, and needs to be developed for me to keep me coming back again and again, as I do feel there's quite a few shipbuilder options out there right now. And yeah, so not to be too harsh, but I do feel for the price, it does need to have a little bit more development for my interest is fully engaged, let's say. So how to draw together everything I've said in some form of conclusion? I would say that you can clearly see the inspirations that the developers have. They say Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Factorial, and Kerbal Space Program are games that and universes that inspired them. I can also see a lot of inspiration from FTL and RimWorld, I would say, that many others have also picked up on. And I do think this game promises to be a very good, if not great game in the future, depending on how it's developed and how the development goes. And so I would say if you're a big fan of this genre and you're willing to put that money in up front, accept that not everything will be fully fleshed out in the beginning, then this is for you. If, however, you like your game out of the package to be fully fledged, fully developed, then maybe waiting on this one is ideal until those threads have been weaved between everything that ties it together nicely and in a kind of polished package. Anyway, guys, that is my thoughts on The Last Starship. Hopefully you have enjoyed this review. If you have, drop me a like. Please comment your thoughts, as I'm genuinely curious to see what the community think of this game. And of course, consider subscribing to the channel, become an LT gamer, join the journey with me and Luke, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye now.